I love CastleVania, the show. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain why you should go watch this awesome show, because it's one of the greatest shows this year. And I bet you don't believe me, but I'm not joking, and I'll give you 2 points to explain to you why this show is great. And not just for a video game show, but good for any kind of show. And it's just awesome TV altogether. Now, before I get into these points, I'm just going to warn you. I'm just going to warn everyone watching this that CastleVania is rated 18 and up. So if you're not up for some gruesome stuff, you can just skip this show. Now, I'll also mention that this show is only 4 episodes and is a total of 1 hour and 20 minutes. I'm also going to mention that this isn't a bad thing and is even more of a reason you should go watch this show. You can just binge it out. It's shorter than most movies, so go watch it. Now, point 1. The hero concept. So this first point is the hero concept, which is just a name I came up for the heroes in TV, movies, and video games. Now, in most movies, heroes are all-powerful beings. Some examples of this are people like Superman. Now, Superman is misinterpreted in media. In Justice League, Superman is less of a human and more of an alien, and this makes him completely unrelatable. But in CastleVania, the main character is Trevor Belmont, and the first scene we see him in is him losing a bar fight. We see he's not some god. We see he's a person and has weaknesses just like real people. We constantly see Trevor Belmont fail, just as much as we see him succeed. This is rare in media, and in most shows and movies, characters beat their conflict much more than they lose to the conflict. An example of this are in the CW shows Arrow and Flash. In those shows, the characters never feel truly defeated. They're never really beat, and they always win. An example of this is in any episode of Flash. He always conquers the bad guy. He always wins with relatively low effort. The first time we see Trevor Belmont, he loses. He loses a fight, he doesn't get back up, and he doesn't go in the bar to keep fighting. He feels defeated and stops. He loses. This makes him feel more like a real person and not like a character in a show. He gives up, just like real people do. Now, for my second and final point on why you should watch this show is motivation for action. What this means is it's the reason people do things in shows, movies, or video games. In this show, every character does some crazy things. An example of this is Trevor Belmont training villagers to fight demons. That's pretty crazy, but this makes sense to the narrative of the story. It's also something Trevor Belmont would do. From what we've seen him do before, it makes sense that he would do this. Now, I'm going to reference Justice League again, because in that film, spoilers for Justice League, by the way, Batman resurrects Superman. But from what we've seen, Batman, he would not do this. Batman has learned to accept death from the experience he's had with his parents, so he would not try and resurrect someone. But in CastleVania, everything the characters do not only makes sense for the story, but it also makes sense that the characters would do what they do. An example of this is when Dracula decides to wipe out humanity. Pretty crazy. But in the show, we were shown he had a grudge on humans, and the only reason he didn't kill all humans was because of his wife, Lisa. So when humans kill her, it makes sense he would seek revenge on humanity. It makes sense he would do this from what we've previously been shown about him. Now, I hope I convinced you that you should go watch this show. If you liked the video, leave a like or share the video with your friends. Now, my name is T.M.V, and I'm going to TM leave.